Hello, folks. Anita Rao. Hope everyone is well. So let's speak about the moon, moon's position today. Rather, ninth house from the moon. So see where the moon sits in your chart and count 9 houses from there. And see what planets sit in that house, which is ninth from the moon. Also see the lord of this house. Now the classics give moon the most importance, not only for compatibility, but also for gochar, for transits. And not only that, but if you notice, many of the yogas that we speak about are formed due to the moon's position in your chart, like the Chandramangal yoga, Gajakesara yoga, Vish yoga, just to name a few, right? So let's talk about ninth house from the moon. Yeah. Some basics that are important to understand. First, what significations or karakas do we attribute to the moon? Mother, right, obviously, the most obvious one. Property, also obvious. Home, comforts, food, water, sustenance, happiness, contentment, peace of mind. Right? That's fourth. All that is fourth house. That's lorded by the moon. Our emotions, our thoughts. But more than that, it's also the birthplace, fourth house. It's also travel. And moon is always moving, right? So it's just movement. It's also masses, people, the general public. It's popularity. And it's also expenses. Ninth house is what? Ninth house is it's dharma, right? It's part of the dharma trikon. So it's our values. It's also religion, spirituality, fortune, destiny, luck. That place where we don't feel like we have a lot of control, like you're either lucky or you're not. That's sort of the feeling of the ninth house. And if you have a strong dharma trikon, it makes up for that, right? Because ninth is our past and fifth is our future. So we have to balance it out with the help of the lagna. But ninth is more than that. It's our guru. It's our teachers. It's the higher power. It's higher education, higher learning. And not just teachers, but any advisors also we see from the ninth house. Yeah. And it's a house of fortune based on our past life deeds. And that is why it's known as a fated place, a destined place. Yeah. Bhagyastan, our luck. Our luck coming into this world. How do we, with the circumstances of us coming into this world. The ninth house represents auspicious benefits. So what if your ninth house from the lagna is in good shape? Ninth lord position is good. But you don't feel lucky. And you never feel like you have enough. So we need to check the ninth from your moon sign. Because unless you get that which is represented by ninth from the moon, you cannot really feel peace of mind, contentment. Because you may have that gnawing feeling that you need this very thing to feel good and to feel satisfaction in life. And without it, you may always just feel a little bit insecure. So we need to see the planet sitting the ninth from the moon and also the ruling planet of the ninth house from the moon, right? If there's no planet in ninth house, then see the ruling planet and see where it's gone. See its placement in D1, in D9, in D60 to get a holistic view. You will see here also the karmas of your pitris, your ancestors, your father. If Venus is sitting there, then our deepest soul desire is for relationships, a marriage, a soulmate, a life partner, sometimes many partners. It depends on what else is going on in the chart, right? But remember, because this is the house of dharma, then if you're dishonest in your relationships, that will spoil your luck, right? If you've got Venus in the 9th from the moon. If Saturn is sitting there, 9th house from your moon, you may be worried about your health, your career. And there will always be a longing for a good career with Saturn in 9th from the moon. And not just that, like you want to be recognized in your career. You don't want to just go and do a job and get paid. You want more than that. You want prestige. You want acknowledgement, appreciation. Maybe some awards. That doesn't hurt. So not just a job. Wealth creation for you is also a strong desire, especially through your career. You can also travel a lot, possibly due to career. So if that's happening a lot with you, you may be wishing for some more stability. If Jupiter is 9th from the moon, or it's the Lord of the 9th from the moon, then there's a strong need and desire for knowledge, just for higher learning, for higher education. There's a strong desire for traveling, for seeing the world. So you may feel insecure if you're unable to pursue this path in your life. Higher learning, higher knowledge, spiritual knowledge, world travel. And in fact, travel is part of higher education, according to me. So it's connected with that 9th house. Check also the lordship of that planet. So if you have no planets in the 9th house from moon, but it's Jupiter itself that rules it, then the desire to have children will also be strong. As well as to have a husband, to have a guru, to have a guide. In fact, a husband that is a guide is ideal for this placement, if you're a woman and you have this placement. You know? Now, what if you have Sun in the 9th from the moon? Then you will feel secure with your father around. Fatherly figures. People that can show you the way, can show you like sort of like that protective, like take the protective stance for you. Of course, if it's a debilitated Sun, then it can have the opposite effect, right? It will definitely give you the desire to be creative, to have your own business, also to be famous, to publish a book perhaps, just to be known in some way. Wealth generation and career will also be very, very important to you. If Mars is there, then you want to be independent. Mars is 9th from the moon, you want to be independent. Even if you're married, your freedom is of utmost importance to you. So it can adversely affect your marriage in that way. It can bring health issues also during Dasha of Mars. With this Mars placement, you will want to be recognized in society for helping others. So doing some kind of like social welfare work is actually quite good for you with this placement. Mars, 9th from the moon. In fact, if you're having health issues, check to see what's 9th from the moon. If you're feeling dissatisfied mentally or even feeling disturbed, then check to see what's happening 9th from the moon. You could be experiencing a tough Saturn transit. If a malefic is placed there, certainly you might be feeling that way. After all, moon is what? Moon is nourishment, food. So doing a remedy for a planet that sits there, 9th from the moon, is excellent. Because in this way, mental and emotional well-being will be uplifted. In fact, I would say do a remedy for the lord of that house, not the planet. Like you could do, like, for example, a mantra for that deity that's represented by the ruler of the 9th. If you have Mercury 9th from moon, then your friends and siblings will be very important to you. And you will, of course, also have a desire for wealth creation. And there's a desire to look and feel young all the time. You will also be fond of traveling with Mercury 9th from the moon. This is a nice placement. If Ketu is 9th from the moon, then you want to pursue your own path in life. And the urge for freedom is very strong with this Ketu in the 9th. Again, this can adversely impact marriage and partnerships, the same as Mars 9th from the moon. Your desire here is to gain, and not just gain knowledge, but covet knowledge. You're not very good at sharing it. Yeah. You also want to be part of an elite group with Ketu in the 9th from the moon. Or you want to be part of like some like established, recognizable community of some sort. Travel is also very important to you. Getting away is very important to you. Here, ultimately, your feeling is to denounce the world, the material world, for good. And the older you get, the more you want this. This is, I mean, you will very much connect with this soul desire the older you get. If Rahu is placed 9th from the moon, your deep desire is basically just to go beyond the rules, the conventions, the boundaries. You want to reject structures, and you want to reject rules, and you want to create your own. You want to create your own philosophies, beliefs, spiritual concepts, your own path in life. You want to forge your own path in life. And then your desire is like to preach these newfound ideas to others, to convert others, and create a following of your own. And you want to be recognized and praised for thinking outside of the box. Yeah. So let's speak a little bit about remedies now. Yeah. So if your 9th lord is sitting in a Dushtana house, then you really need to consider some remedies, right? Dushtana houses are what? They're essentially 6, 8, 12. So if the 9th lord from the moon is sitting in your 6, 8, 12 from the moon, then that can be a tricky placement. Right? So you need to see where that ruling planet has gone. If that ruler of the 9th from the moon is in the 6th, then it will really make you work hard for luck. It just, it won't just come to you. You'll have to work for it. In fact, this is a very good placement for a self-made person. 9th lord in the 6th house. To see the dignity of that 9th lord. So increasing your luck by making your own luck through your own work. Also the 6 Shadripus that I've spoken about in the past, right? 9th lord in the 6th house, you need to constantly let go. Almost like a detox in a way. On an emotional level, on a physical level. And a good way to do that is just like write down things that are bothering you. And beside them, write down, so what? Yes, 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 but so what? Right? Like get into that habit. Just habit. 6th house is habits, routines. If your 9th house ruler is in the 8th house, And then this is not an easy, it's not an easy placement. You can always feel a lack in life. A feeling of no matter what you do, no matter how much you do, you just don't feel like you have enough. You may even feel like you're drowning, like just like a deep insecurity. Depending on who this planet is, this in some cases can also mean renunciation from the world. Right? It can lead to it could really lead to spiritual advancement. Right? Like you have to see who the planet is. Like if it's Jupiter, yes. But what if it's Saturn? And it's a very dignified Saturn placement, then yes. So it can lead to spiritual advancement, but it gives a deep feeling, like I said, it gives a deep feeling of insecurity. If your 9th house ruler is in the 12th house, then you can face challenges with your father. Here, higher education is really good for you. Any sort of higher learning. A guru, a mentor, a guide, a mentor. It could even be a career mentor. Can help you a lot here. And in that way, increase your luck. Living far away from your birthplace can also increase your luck. If 9th Lord has gone into 12th house. Yeah. So, all right, well, that's a snapshot of 9th house for Moon. Feel free to comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you, folks. Bye for now.